Human ship designs are eccentric. You don't really believe the humans could do that, do you? Ichabod declared, his mandibles clattering. Klaxrug slowly groomed an iridescent wing, her segmented eyes shifting to a sorrow blue hue. Saw it myself while I was attendant to Hive Queen Claraxa 3 cycles ago. We visited the human hive world Loam. Arid place. That third planet. Second planet now that their sun devoured the first. But an entire At-Roxian armada? Surely you jest. The two Claridians overlooked the alien starport, gleaming silver against a rust-red world. I assure you, Ichabod, my tale is real. Queen Claraxa was envoy to the human hive to broker an alliance. Our border is shared with 3 of their worlds. Humans are. Her grooming slowed as she decided the appropriate term, eccentric. Eccentric, her compatriot repeated in disbelief. Queen Claraxa had trouble comprehending them too. I would argue that the humans are the most unique in the galaxy. No other race can compare. At this, Ichabod rolled the colors in his eyes. Klaxrug frowned as much as her mandibles would allow. Something she picked up on Loam. She scanned the starport below, deciding on an explanation. See those ships below? That big one with the tall white shapes? Veldarin. They come from an ocean world racked by earthquakes, but they worship the 1,000 cliffs, each a religious hero or deity. And each of their ships is a facsimile, an avatar of a god. Each tenuously held together by grav cables and shield generators. Said to be the strongest ships in the galaxy, Ichabod admired. Rather big for a cargo ship, must be picking up rust spice from the arboreal garden caves. I saw a ship like that while amongst the humans. Massive and white. Filled with outcroppings and crags. They said it destroyed stars. With the number of black holes in human territories, I suspect it is true. Ichabod puzzled such a ship, his antennae tilting. I cannot fathom the power required for any race to have a single ship that could function as a star destroyer. World devastators, perhaps. But not stars. Klaxrug pointed to another ship just taking off. At-Roxian Beetlegumper. Able to open wormholes. They were the first ones the humans met, and the first to have their technology fall into human hands. Though the humans acquired the technology, they couldn't make use of it until they got a star drive. Not unless they wanted to cross the starless sands for many cycles. Don't see many of those At-Roxians around. I was part of a raid on one of their world cycles ago. They could only field 1 star drive at a time. Our queen said they tended to cross streams and negate each other. Indeed they do, Klaxrug chittered happily. The humans eventually got their star drives in trade. But all their hive worlds are connected by a network of what they called stargates. Available both on planet and with massive ones in space, they proved quite the nuisance for their At-Roxian invaders. The pirate legions invaded Clay first, seeking to destroy the homeworld as they do, but met resistance by an endless stream of human warrior caste. In space, they were beset by a human armada, though they eventually managed to destroy the space portal to stem the tide. It was at that point that the At-Roxians also invaded Loam, where we were ambushed during our cycle talk with the humans not queen. During our cultural exploration, we observed many memories of the humans, from their world-ending wars to many invasions by their 2nd and 4th planets. Once beautiful garden worlds, the 2nd planet is now covered in toxic gas, and the other stripped of atmosphere and barren red by beta particle detonations. The other worlds in their home system were all gas and razor wind as well, which they fed on with their digidrones. We witnessed their sorrows and joys, their hopes and dreams, and even their most vivid nightmares. But if anything is most apparent, it is their larva-like curiosity and neurotic excitement. How so? Ichabod inquired, watching the engine flare of the Beetlegumper disappear into the now setting horizon. Didn't they meet the At-Roxian force with pure numbers? The response Klaxrug made pulsed with amusement. They did, yes. But unlike the Borugians and the Cherixians and any other species I have memoried, the humans are the most varied by far. They claim that the ships were not inspired by the races they have met, but that the technologies they acquired made them possible. They fielded a fleet of their star-eating cliff ships, Ergerturg DG Hive Anger Cubes, and even an island-shaped ship with 2 long warp drives mounted to it, which they claimed was their flagship, the Enterprise. Most importantly, not all these Hive ships moved the same, nor did they have equivalent technology. When the At-Roxian world-enders arrived over Loam, the humans entrenched their Star Destroyer Hive ships to deter them. Their Enterprise, and many other ships like it, wove between the enemy fleet with shields and Keldothi plasma lances. Their heavily armored battle stars and DG Hive-based stars deployed thousands of drone craft, but I think what did the most damage was their beta particle explosives. If the At-Roxians survived those starbursts, they would find an agonizing life ahead of them. I understand they have a variety of unique ships, Klaxrug, but you haven't told me why they are eccentric. Ixkabad's eyes flared orange in irritation. Klaxrug's chitin washed sorrow blue in apology. Humans are eccentric, yes, yes. Another drone may argue insane. Queen Claraxa and her attendants witnessed it while aboard their flagship. Normally, one would keep their diplomatic ship far from battle, but the human hive leader laughed and told us the shields would hold. And if they didn't, they would have a blue box arrive to escort us to safety. Apparently, the humans are experimenting with time travel, though they can only go back 7 turns. The crew drones we saw were all bright calm, keeping score of the enemy ships destroyed and cheering when one blew up. You have dealt with the At-Roxians before, and remember their attacks on our hive worlds. The human war was not the carnage we faced then. When not serving their hive, humans make entertainment in digimemories and viewings of old battles and lives. The crew even joked about an At-Roxian boarding party getting into the ship. But when the crew received word of the Clay Space Gate's destruction, they didn't blind their eyes. An easy fix, they said, and that they'd just warp a fleet over to reinforce real quick. At one point, the At-Roxians resorted to Q-stepping our illustrious queen to their ship, which made the humans angry. The Not Queen told his crew to open a hushed casket, and though I was not witness to what transpired afterwards, a crew drone later told me that a single human boldly boarded the enemy ship and saved our queen, killing all At-Roxians that got in his way. Ixkabad mused, they sound like a powerful adversary. I see our queen's wisdom in allying with them. But why? Yes, but it is not the ships nor the technology that makes humans eccentric. It is the fact that their designs are not based on religion or rule standards, but on their dream memories. Their fiction, as they called it. They use technologies alien to them to make their wildest fantasies come true. And now that the At-Roxians have been repelled, I hear the humans are heading to the At-Roxian home system, acquired from the digibrain of the captured ship. Queen Claraxa begged them not to send a halo, but they reassured her they were only sending something of equivalent intent. I believe they called it a Death Star,